Ever wondered if your child's screen time habits are shaping their brain more than you realize? Hi, I'm Sloane Sheridan Williams, and this is Creating Brilliant Kids. Cultivating brilliance in a screen saturated world. In this digital era, screens beckon with promises of educational enrichment. Yet the reality is greater disconnection in a world where human connection is already under attack. You just have to go to a restaurant and see how many people have their phones out and have reduced attention towards their dining companions. With new research coming out about screen time and its effects on children, it can feel like every decision you make about screen time is shaping your child's world in a big way. Your actions could be fostering their brilliance or dulling their shine. And do you even know? Our choices profoundly shape their development and influence their perceptions. And that is a lot of pressure. Let's be real. Finding that balance between keeping them entertained and keeping their brilliant brains from turning to mush is no easy feat. But here's the thing. There's a sweet spot where screen time adds to their world without taking away from their sparkle. The research, it isn't that scary. Yes, care should be taken between the ages of 0 and 4, but the detrimental effects of some types of screens are less after 4, with greater declines after 6. So you won't be burned at the stake for allowing yourself a little respite while your child has 15 minutes screen time. 15 minutes! I need more, I hear you say. And that's the beauty. There is no one number that fits all children, although scientists would like us to believe different. There are many factors, and it is for you to decide based on the facts what is going to work for your family. I think we can all agree screens are not meant to be all-day babysitters, and there exists a tipping point where excessive screen time will begin to erode a child's brilliance and hinder their growth. But how much is too much? Let's chat about it together, dive into the pros and cons of screen time, look at what options are available, and put some healthy habits in place to make sure your little ones keep shining bright with brilliance in this digital age. Dear brilliant parents and caregivers, welcome to Creating Brilliant Kids, a place where brilliance extends beyond academics, a place where we define brilliance as a harmonious blend of intellectual aptitude, creativity, mental toughness, and emotional intelligence. Today, we are discussing the optimal screen time for children. How much screen time is just right for our little ones? It's like searching for hidden treasure, isn't it? We're all on the hunt for that magic time limit, the one that keeps our kids bright-eyed and bushy-tailed without tipping them over into the land of mediocrity. The only thing for sure is that whatever that magic number is, it's hovering dangerously close to the point where it won't be enough time for us to check off everything on our to-do list. One sunny afternoon, I was just wrapping up an advice proposal when my son burst through the door after a half a day of school, buzzing with energy like only he can. Now, here's the kicker. As tempting as it is to let him veg out in front of the TV while I sneak in some extra work, in that split second, I'm faced with a tough choice. You know the one. Stop my work and focus all my attention on my son versus the seductive glow of the digital distraction, promising me a brief moment of peace to finish up. And it's ironic, because here we are, together in the same room, yet both of us would be glued to our screens, missing out on those classic bonding moments and opportunities to inspire brilliance. Finding the right balance is definitely a juggling act, and that mental picture of us being together, yet apart, really got me reflecting on the reality of it all. There's this constant tug of war for parents between the demands of their work and other obligations versus the responsibilities of being a parent. How to decide which one wins and how much screen time is too much. Well, here comes a quick brainy breakdown. In this domain where screens serve as both mentors and misguiding forces, the best starting point is objective analysis of each point of view. Compelling reasons for screen time. Well, you have educational exploration. Screens open a gateway to knowledge. They can engage children in ways traditional methods may struggle to match. Educational apps and interactive content can become a digital playground, fostering curiosity and intellectual brilliance. You also have social connectivity. In today's fast paced world, screens facilitate connections. They bridge geographical gaps through virtual play dates and communication platforms. They nurture relationships that might otherwise fade in the hustle and bustle of life. You also have technological preparedness. Embracing screen time equips children with crucial technological skills for the future. And in an era dominated by digital advancement, early exposure will build familiarity and confidence in navigating the technological landscape. Arguments against screen time: nature and physical activity will be diminished. Excessive screen time often leads to a sedentary lifestyle, robbing children of the joys of physical play and outdoor exploration. Balancing screen exposure with nature can foster motor skills, strength, and a deeper appreciation of the world. There's also the social and emotional development. Critics argue that prolonged screen exposure hinders the development of crucial social and emotional skills. Face-to-face interaction and unstructured play provides opportunity for empathy, communication, understanding, aspects compromised in a digital-centric environment. And very importantly, there are health concerns. Potential health risks from eye strain to disruptive sleep patterns, increased sedentary behavior, they all raise concerns. Protecting children's well-being means addressing these health impacts and finding a balance that promotes physical and mental brilliance. How does that work in practice? I think we could all agree the dilemma confronting every parent isn't merely about choosing between screens or no screens, as both perspectives have their merits. The real question is what type of screen, which format, which type of content, and how long. Let's start with screen time. And we're talking about some pretty specific numbers given by the experts. However, I cannot stress enough, you know your child best and you need to go with your gut on this. Guidelines according to science say for your little tots, aged 3 to 7, think about aiming for around 30 minutes to an hour a day. When they hit that 7 to 12-year-old range, you're looking at a solid hour. Now for the tweenies, aged 12 to 15, you can stretch that out to about an hour and a half. And for the older teens, 16 and up, you're looking at a 2-hour window. Quite hypocritical for teenagers, as I'm sure most of us watched a lot more TV than that, even though some of us are old enough to remember when cable first started. Now we have some numbers. The scientists also tell us that not all activities are created equal. Goodness, it sounds like something George Orwell would have written. Computer use and video gaming, well, they've been linked to some pretty heavy stuff, like more severe depressive symptoms and even heightened anxiety levels. It's like they've got some kind of secret pact to wreak havoc on the mental health of our children. And video gaming seems to be the real troublemaker with direct links to anxiety levels. If that's not enough to freak out most parents, studies have found that addictive digital media behavior can actually lead to changes in the brain structure, messing with cognitive control and emotional regulation. Two pretty important things. And let's not forget about social media. That's a whole other can of worms. I think we can say it's evident that relying solely on screens, substituting genuine human warmth with the artificial glow of pixels, does not cultivate a well-rounded child. But if you do have to rely on them, less is more, and stick to non-violent TV and educational apps. My personal thoughts. I firmly believe that children deserve more than a digital substitute for human connection, more than virtual hugs, simulated playdates, or vicarious experiences through influencer-led adventures. Nevertheless, I also understand that the solution isn't simply to ban screens altogether. Rather, it's about recognizing the consequences when screens overshadow their formative years and ensuring we have a right-now plan of flexibility to help reduce screen time. My parent philosophy is to go into this armed and ready with a list of alternative options, more for myself, so I can look at it and have things in the playroom ready to go. I think of it like meal planning. You can't just open a recipe book and hope all the ingredients are in the cupboard. Some preparation has to go in beforehand. If you want to limit screen time by providing fun alternatives but are stuck for choices of what to do, Check out my A to Z list of 26 alternatives to screen time to get you started. By offering diverse alternatives, we can gradually replace excessive screen time habits with healthier choices. Our children deserve the depth of genuine experiences, the spontaneity of heartfelt laughter, the intimacy of face to face connections. Anything else could have far reaching consequences. Parent poll, what do you think? I'd love to know whether you think screen time should be limited with strict boundaries, encouraged as an educational tool, or allowed as a reward only. Let me know in the poll. Final thoughts. In a world where our children's initial bonds are formed through screens, what implications might this have for the future? While some may view it as a harmless engagement with technology, could this early immersion pave the path for a future where our child's connection to the digital realm evolves into something beyond our current comprehension? Could it lead to a scenario where our children entertain the idea of forming romantic relationships with artificial entities? It's a thought-provoking concept, offering a glimpse into a potential future where the lines between human interaction and digital companionship blur. Is it too far away to worry about? Or is it closer than we think? Sharing brilliance in parenting. Your insights, experiences, and reflections contribute to our collective journey in parenting. Your thoughts, challenges, and triumphs are always welcomed. So do share them. If you haven't already subscribed to Creating Brilliant Kids, you can find me on all the usual social media channels and, of course, on Substack, where you can subscribe and get a newsletter direct to your inbox.